There's a kind of witch hunting that is taking place on American college campuses that is really unmistakable once you've seen it from the inside. For those who haven't, it's very confusing because it is, of course, dressed in the language of justice. It is the inverse of that, but one has to look behind the curtain to figure out what the relationship is between the witch hunters and the process of equity they claim to be pursuing.
Your particular circumstances, you just refused to go along with one particular day of action. For those of us not familiar with the story, tell us what happened.
Well, I was teaching. My wife and I were both teaching at the Evergreen State College, which is a governmentally funded institution. And the institution changed a traditional day of absence. And literally, the administration of the college asked white people not to show up to school one day. And I took to the only venue I had available to me and said it was unacceptable for people not to be welcome on campus on the basis of their skin color. And what came back were, of course, accusations of racism.
Sorry to interrupt, but just to explain to people, hitherto people of colour had decided optionally that they could make their mark, make their statement by not going in, but they had a choice about that to some degree. And what you were saying and what you found so objectionable was that here were white people, in a sense, not being given a choice.
Well, we were being coerced. Yes, what I said in my letter to the faculty was that there was all the difference in the world between people absenting themselves to make a point, which of course I would support, and people being absented on the basis of their skin color, which is completely unacceptable, not to mention unconstitutional.
And what happened next? I mean, did it immediately explode in your face, or was it a slow, protracted process? Did friends in academia turn you away, turn their back on you? Did you lose loyal supporters? What was the process?
Initially, there was a tremendous dust-up on our email list. A couple of weeks later, 50 students that I had never met showed up at my classroom chanting, demanding that I be either fired or resign, accusing me of racism. They made the terrible error of videotaping themselves and then uploading it. And when the world saw the way they were treating me and the fact that they were unwilling to even have a discussion with me about what it would mean to be or not to be racist, the public outcry against them was quite tremendous.
And quite often we see that, don't we, that reluctance to publicly debate. I mean, that would have been a fantastic opportunity if they really had the courage of their convictions to put it to the man, to put it to you, and they didn't. They chose not to.
Well, they chose not to because really what they were after was power. And their protest at my classroom was stark enough. What followed was the president of the college standing down the campus police, students joining together in what they claimed were public policing efforts, but they in fact went around bullying other students. They hunted for me, and it was quite a chilling event. It was really a preview in many ways of things that unfolded last summer much more broadly.